Any thoughts on building a team or um, making sure that stakeholders and team members are trained and they are empowered?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just the money that is spent on the training that you have to consider, but it's more about, like you said, Dr. Sam, you're actually building something for the future, right? By educating them, you are bringing up a team that can deliver much more than just a project or a product.
Fantastic. And also look at Monica. She's helping General Motors build their next generation car, and the software for that car, which sits inside the what do you say, the dashboard. And you need these engineers to bring in their knowledge and experiences and creativity in designing the next generation project, right? Mm-hmm. So in this situation, probably they know more than you on the topic as a project manager. So as a project manager, you're facilitating, empowering them, and wherever you feel this not so equipped guy needs help and assistance, you are helping build your team by taking care of the issues. Yep. Any thoughts, ideas?
I think there are always gaps in engineering team and testing team, or different teams also, I would say, within a given project. Finding those gaps, bridging them, making sure the knowledge is shared across between the teams, how both teams or collaborative teams work with each other is very important for team building, rather than just taking out requirements from a certain team, delivering it to the other team and getting the work done. You have to know that gap first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome and fantastic, because that's, in my opinion, the key job of the project manager, because you're not a postman, you're taking things from here and giving here and again. And some people do that on purpose because they want to keep their jobs.
They want to impress people also. Some people, they do that because they think they don't want to, they're subordinates, they're stakeholders, and then you just want to be in their good books also all the time.
Yeah.
Rather
than they want to look good to their team that, I have knowledge. Yeah. And they want to look good to their bosses or stakeholders, because you know what? I am doing it.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad. Good in the sense that it gives them some credibility, but from a project management perspective, sometimes it creates hurdles and issues.
Yeah.
So the 2 cents here is that, hey, you as a project manager collaborate to find out the knowledge gap between engineering and testing and bring them together. Right? Maybe you do a Zoom call and the engineering team talks about their issues, and this testing team talks about their issues, and the gap is bridged.
Yeah.
Because only then you can achieve success.
Yeah.
So coming back to Karan's point, does the project manager have to be a good negotiator?
Absolutely.
Does he or she have to understand the agreements?
Yes.
How many of the project managers actually read the agreements in real life?
I think nowadays they have to.
Okay, they have to, really. Monica, do you read the agreements?
Yeah, you have to. You have to write up agreements also for projects.
Oh, I see that shift, Earlier they would all give it to legal. I don't know, this is legal.
Yeah.
Agreement, legal. But the whole idea is to tap the intellectual prowess of the team, right? And in order to do that, if you yourself are not intellectually inclined, how will you deliver?
Right.
So I believe the project manager has to be understanding what is in this agreement. Is this a agreement based on time and material, or is this an agreement based on what is the nature of the agreement and what does it entail from my team? What does it entail from me? What does it entail from the stakeholders?
Mhm.
Do you think it's a valid question to ask?
Yes.
Do you think the project manager should be involved in the discussions for the finalization of agreements?
They should.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they should because they have to, because they are the ones who eventually have to get the tasks delivered. An agreement is where it all starts from.
Good point.
Very
Yeah.
excellent. Because in the old test, if you remember, there was a question, this project manager should stay away from all this.
Yeah.
Right. But you want him to stay away because he should not be involved in the kickbacks. I understand that. But on the other hand, you expect him to deliver.
Yeah.
And then somebody else signed the agreement and he was not even involved in the negotiation. Not a good deal, right? So the idea is that not only they should help solve the problems and obstacles and remove them, they should sit in the agreements and talk to the stakeholders, right? What do the stakeholders expect from this project? Can you, Mr. John, tell me what do you want us to do?
Mhm.
So that when I go and sign the agreement, I know what to do.
Mhm.
So that I can go back and build a common understanding with my team.
Right.
So that if my team members get blocked and they don't know what to do, I have a vision, a sense by collaborating with you, Mr. Stakeholder, that I can help my team solve the obstacles and impediments.
Mhm.
Any ideas, thoughts, and concerns on handling people? This is the most difficult part of real life, right? Sounds very easy on the book, but most challenging. This is where we have heartburns and challenges in real life.
Right.
That is why Steve Jobs left us at 56. Just kidding. What about virtual teams, friends?
Yeah.
Do we have virtual teams nowadays?
Yeah.
As a project manager, should we be equipped to engage them and get the job done?
Yes.
Do we have to understand time zones, technical issues, culture?
Yes. Time zone specifically. Mind
I
you.
think emotional intelligence is
Emotional,
required. Yeah.
very high emotional intelligence is required because, in the virtual teams, when you deal with culture and different mindsets and different philosophies of life, right? One time I wrote, I was very new to America. I wrote to my team member in India, get this done ASAP. So he didn't reply for like 10 days. I said, I told you to get this done ASAP and you didn't even reply. And what happened to this? So he said, we don't have any ASP guy in our team. Why are you asking to do? I said, what do you mean ASP guy? Then I figured out ASP is a tool, right? What is that?
ASP language.
Yeah. But what I meant was as soon as possible. In the American culture,
Yeah.
when you say ASAP, it means
As soon as
As
possible.
soon as possible.
Indian culture, let's call it SOS.
Oh,
See,
that's
not,
where it came from.
yeah, save our souls, which is like an emergency.
Oh, wow.
So if you're not a quick listener and thinker, you may end up, blaming and criticizing, not achieving your goal. So understanding the nuances of culture and language.
Yeah.
Even the same English language was not neither born in India nor America, by the way. It was born in a place called England. Am I right? Right now it is in trouble, but England created the language English. So as a good project manager, should you be involved in setting the expectations from your team members and stakeholders?
Yes.
What is expected from the team and what is not expected?
Right.
Tell me what is not expected.
Missing
ground.
timelines,
Huh?
over expectations, missing timelines.
Yeah. How about the long breaks?
Definitely not.
Okay. So should a project manager be also involved in mentoring stakeholders? They don't even listen to you.
You have to find a way to be heard.
Okay. Do they
Yeah.
care about a project manager, the piddly guy for this senior director, senior VP?
Well, the project manager is the one who's going to eventually give them the deliverables.
He is like the, what do you call, level in companies, they have levels, right? Microsoft.
Level 3, level 2,
Yeah.
7.
Level 67 guy, and you are a level 42. And that you can go and find out his salary also $600K, $1 million. And you're a piddly guy. Why would he listen to you?
Because when the project fails, it's a project manager's failure. So if
Uh-huh.
that is the case, then even the other way around should be the same. Like they should listen to the project manager.
Good, you failed. I know that. I knew that always. I knew this project is not going to go anywhere. And I knew the legacy system we had was the best. But this other senior VP, he got this idea to bring this new product into our environment. Does that happen?
Hardly, but yeah, it can.
Yeah, think about when you are there are business verticals, right? And the business moves from one vertical to the other. For example, right now it is moving from cloud to AI. So the cloud guy even today might be scared they'll lose their job.
Yeah.
And the senior VP cloud might think the whole vertical will be gone. And there's new CVP who came from Google. So who came from Facebook to Google, right? He's talking about nobody knows what he's talking about, AI. And when he talks and he speaks and he finishes, nobody understands anything. Does that happen?
It happens.
A lot, a little bit.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So the idea is whenever we will have a disruption, friends, and we bring new systems, we will disrupt the existing legacy system.
Yeah.
And the people who are built around those legacy systems will feel threatened.
Right.
Now, we as a project manager have to mentor them and, talk to them and convince them as to how this new thing will help the company add on things.
Make them feel secured.
Yeah, make them feel secured and make them feel reassured that, it will help improve our business.
Yeah.
And that's where what Iti was saying is very important, emotional intelligence.
Right.
Right. A strong personality. A lot of times project managers are told by the senior VP that, oh, you cannot be a guy like Sam, so soft and sweet, and nothing will get done in this company. Have you heard that before in your career? You
Yeah.
have to be very demanding and specific and make them do the job.
That doesn't work always also, right?
Yeah. But that's how some top companies are governed even today.
Yeah.
This company.
I know.
Very top driven. Right?
That's true.
Yeah. And it is the largest company in the world, $2 trillion. It is bigger than Google and bigger than Salesforce. Right? So Mark Bernioff and Eric Smith and Google, Sundar Pichai, they are like soft guys.
Yeah.
Right?
I think understanding your environment, your people surrounding you work with, the culture they have is very important before you just start implementing a strategy or way of getting work done or working. Like, for example, Apple has very dominant attitude, like cutthroat. You have to do it. You have to do it. But a person coming out of Apple cannot imply the same policies or strategy of working at NetOps, for example. He has to change. He has to adapt. He has to modify the way he works. It may not be acceptable.
Yeah, very true. And also think, friends, let's talk about the FANG, the big companies, right? Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Facebook, the Zuckerberg guy is very soft guy, right?
Yeah.
Everybody works from home even today, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
They do, a lot of them.
Apple said, I don't care. You walk in and you work here. This is your space. This is your domain. Even though Tim Cook is not very visible, but everybody knows that if this is a P0, then it will go to Tim Cook,
Yeah.
right? In such a big company. Anybody understand P0?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what is that?
Priority 0.
Production.
Which means it is an issue which is hampering the flow of business.
Yeah.
And if you don't listen to me, Tim Cook will talk to you. This is what it means. Right? So that's where the challenge is. So, I mean, look at this. So Apple versus Google, and this is very interesting because we have a lady from Google here, right? Now they're large companies, they're big companies. So as a project manager, when you work at Apple versus you with Google, your skills are different, right? So there's no right or wrong, but understanding the culture, and that's why people, process, and environment. The environment of Apple is very different than the environment of Google. That's the point here, right? The way people function in Apple are different than people who function in Google. Google, in my opinion, is more people-driven than Apple, right? Although both companies are very strong on the process. I believe Apple is even 10 times more stronger on the process.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to understand as a project manager.